What's going on, guys? What's going on, Chai Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, so it definitely seems like the Browns are probably going to pick Shedeur Sanders. Now, it's probably pretty sure that Shedeur Sanders is probably going to be a Brown. It's going to be a Brown. And this is very interesting. Because we know that Shedeur Sanders has fallen in the second round. And I'm going to say this. We've seen players before, like Tom Brady, like Lamar Jackson. We've seen quarterbacks. And we know that Shedeur Sanders, his dad is Deion Sanders, prime time, one of the greatest Hall of Famers ever. But if you ask me, if you ask me, who is going to draft Shedeur Sanders, it really seems like the Browns are going to draft him. The Browns are going to draft Shedeur Sanders. And we're going to look at this as saying that in a few years, if Shedeur Sanders is a Brown, we're going to say this. If Shedeur Sanders is a Brown in a few years, we're going to say this. If the Browns win a Super Bowl with Myles Garrett, with Shedeur Sanders, if he's drafted there, with Mason Graham, with Denzel Ward, we're going to say in a few years, when we look back at this, we're going to say that Shedeur Sanders led the Browns to a Super Bowl. Because now it seems like with that 33 overall pick, with the 36 overall pick, you got Shedeur Sanders. And I like how confident he is in himself. I like how confident he is in himself. Let me get the elephant out of the room. I like how confident Shedeur Sanders is in himself. And like he said, whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens in the draft, we didn't know that he would fall all the way out of the first round into the second round. We didn't know that. We did not know that Shedeur Sanders would fall all the way to the second round. We did not know that. And now it definitely seems like it definitely seems like that the Browns have a chance. The Browns really are going to pick Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is going to be picked. Is going to be picked as a Brown. And we're going to look back on this draft in a few years and say if Shedeur Sanders wins a Super Bowl with the Cleveland Browns, we're going to say, well, well, those teams were, mm, let me get the elephant out of the room. Those teams were, they passed on Shedeur Sanders. That is what we're going to say. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody. What's going on, guys? What's going on, Thai Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, Shedeur Sanders. Who will pick Shedeur Sanders in the second round? I cannot believe that Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to the second round. And I can bring up quarterbacks. I can bring up quarterbacks right now that I can bring up quarterbacks right now that were second round picks or sixth round picks. Like, let's not forget about Tom Brady, who was a sixth round pick. Let's not forget about Lamar Jackson, who fell all the way at the end of the first round. Who is going to pick Shedeur Sanders? The Steelers missed out on him. I can tell you that. The Steelers missed out on him. I would say that the Browns have the 33 overall pick for the second round and the 36 overall pick in that Browns-Jacksonville trade. I am going to say this. Is that the Browns drafted a guy, the Browns drafted a nose tackle, and Mason Graham. On the defense side of the ball. And I think that trade, the Browns missed out on Travis Hunter. But back to Shedeur Sanders, because I know I'm getting off topic here. I think when we look at Shedeur Sanders, he went to Jackson State. This is possibly going to be Shedeur Sanders a opportunity. And how confident he is. Let me get the whole fan. How confident he is. I like how confident Shedeur Sanders is. I like how confident he is. Because Shedeur Sanders has that swagger. Shedeur Sanders has that swagger where any team in the NFL draft in the second round or the third round will take Shedeur. And we're going to look at this as Shedeur Sanders fell to the second round, but when we look who has the 33 overall pick and the 36 overall pick, like I can go and say it again. Look at Tom Brady. 5 or 6 championships. Was a 6 overall pick. Was a 6 overall pick. Lamar Jackson was fell was a 32 overall pick in the first round. Went to the Baltimore Ravens. Look at Lamar Jackson's career. When we look at those two players, and I'm not comparing Shedeur Sanders and how his career is going to go. Because we don't know what team Shedeur Sanders is going to play for. The Browns have the 30 overall pick in the 30 overall 6th pick in the second round. I would say if I'm the Browns right now, let me get the elephant out of the room. If I'm the Browns right now, I would take Shedeur Sanders. I would take him. Even though I know that I'm getting the swagger that he brings, I'm getting the confidence that he brings. And I know that his dad is Deion Sanders, prime time, one of the greatest Hall of Famers to ever play in the NFL. We get that. I would take Shedeur Sanders. I think the Browns, that's your only option, is to pick Shedeur Sanders and say, do we have an idea? Because Pittsburgh went with the Steelers went with a defensive guy with their pick. The Saints went with somebody else. So why is Shedeur Sanders still on the draft board? That's going to leave a wide open. I don't know what the Saints were thinking, what the Steelers were thinking, what the Browns were thinking to trade the second overall pick. But I like the confidence. I like the swagger that Shedeur Sanders brings. Because like he said, whatever happens, happens. He's got that confidence. I do think that right now, when we look at it, we could say that Shedeur Sanders can be a Cleveland Brown. He's probably going to go to the Browns. Let's just get it over with and get him. The Browns are going to draft him. The Browns need a quarterback. So the Browns, I would say, are going to draft Shedeur Sanders. Because when you look at the quarterbacks, look at Tom Brady, look at Lamar Jackson, look at Patrick Mahomes now, look at Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. These are all different quarterbacks. Those are all different quarterbacks that were either picked in the first round, second round, or sixth round. But guys, never give up your dreams, and I hope all of you guys are safe out there. And stay blessed, everybody, and peace.